Look, I don't know where this is going. There is a project that I want to work on. The project that I want to work on is I want to build a Cyberdeck. Now, I know what you're saying. Cyberdeck. What are you going to do with a Cyberdeck? I don't know. It doesn't really matter what I'm going to do with a Cyberdeck. It doesn't really matter. Because here's the catch. It's going to be a 2-month project. That's what I'm estimating. Sorry, somebody's taking a glider up right now. It's very annoying when they do that in the middle of me trying to do this here. Cloudy, so I can't see him. Just give him 1 second. That is good. So here's the thing. I want to build a Cyberdeck, and I've never built one before. There's always going to be a story behind a lot of things of what I'm doing, especially when I post it, and I haven't done it yet. A very long time ago, when my wife was my girlfriend, she came over to my apartment and she wanted to study. Now, when you tell me you want to study, I'm thinking you want to be in a book and you want to do whatever, study, bring your books or whatever. That's what I'm thinking you're going to do. She did a little bit of studying, but then she turned around and said she wanted to use my computer to finish up an assignment. And that was the absolute wrong time for her to do or ask that question. When she asked that question, she basically had stopped me from installing Linux, something that I had been trying to do, had done a couple times. I would erase my hard drive, and I only had one computer at the time. And I didn't know enough about partitioning hard drives and all the other things, so it was the one machine, and turned around and she gave me the puppy eye look, like, what do you mean your computer's not available? I'm like, oh my God, I just broke her heart. So, and the Linux that I had, I think it was a really good version. I can't remember whether I got it from the store I was working at the time or from a magazine, but I believe it was like a Red Hat edition, which was fairly useful and easy to use back then. But after I got it installed, she tried to use it, and it was a no-go. She couldn't use it for what she needed to. So I had to dump it and put Windows 2000 back on my machine. That was a 2-hour task, and I was working the fastest I could. And the fastest I'd ever done an installation is what I did that night. And because of that experience, I never ventured into Linux ever again. That was it. That was my final attempt at trying to get my hands on Linux and using it for the first time. That was the closest I had ever gone. And because of that experience, I was like, we'll keep it safe, and we'll keep it in the PC realm. Now I'm no longer a PC person, like officially, but I do use my Mac. I use my iOS devices and everything else, and I'm happy with that. I'm very comfortable with that. But there's always this back of my head saying, what about Linux? And now we have this opportunity to do Raspberry Pi. So I don't recommend anybody do this here. I don't want you to, what I do, I don't want you to do. This is a very stupid idea. This is one of the worst ideas I've had in the last 2 hours. So the idea is using all of the spare stuff that I happen to have, because I have so much digital junk that I don't have a reason to not. I'm missing 2 components. I'm missing the Raspberry Pi motherboard, and I'm missing a monitor of some type. And technically I can use a regular monitor that I already have, but I think I would rather go on ahead and just get a small touchscreen and a Raspberry Pi. And that's what I ordered. I ordered the last 2 components, solid components that I needed. Everything else, like memory, I have that. And I think if I go to the iPod box, the shoebox that has iPod stuff in it, I believe I've got an extra mSATA 256 gigabytes of storage sitting in there. So I got a lot to work with. And this entire project, if everything is plug and play the way they say it's supposed to be, could be $100. Like, that's cheap to experiment with. I don't want you to do this here. I'm just telling you what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna take a maximum of 2 months to see what happens. I don't know, we'll see. If it happens earlier and everything works out, I'll tell you about it.